morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. I'm making meatballs today. Well, they're actually already canned. I'm going to be using them. When you use all-purpose flour and you're making pasta, they say you have to add olive oil to it. I am going to be making a mixture of different ones, but I'm using a lot of all-purpose in this, so I will be adding olive oil to it. Now we need 3 cups of flour, but I'm going to put 2 cups of this, and then I'm going to add the other flours and see what I come up with. Okay, I'm done with this one. I should put an apron on before I get totally messed up on this, 'cause knowing me, I will. I'm going to add a half a cup of whole wheat to this. And a half a cup of semolina flour. So I'm going to be getting B vitamins and a high protein, which I think is a good combination. You see it, semolina? Okay. That's all I have left of that one. I'll probably have to order some. Okay. Let's see how many eggs they want. Let me move my book over here. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta put a teaspoon of salt in there. I've run out of a mixture of my salt, so I'll show you how to make it when I finish. Okay. I know that's all I need of that. Now they want two eggs. Now you have to put this in a bowl and beat these eggs first with the water before you go much further, because they won't mix properly in there. Okay, put that there. That can't be wet. Okay, we're going to need a fork to beat this. See, the eggs won't come through here. This is why you've got to beat this thoroughly. gonna beat 3 eggs. My eggs seem to be small. They just say eggs, but they don't even tell you what size. Okay. I doubt seriously this will get very hot. They want 1 tablespoon of oil. Now, if it does not come up to the 2-cup measurer, they have actually 2 cups here to tell you. You have to add water to bring it up to that 2-cup measure. I don't need this anymore. So by using this flour combination, I'm making sure I get my B's, my minerals, and everything with the wheat. And I'm getting extra protein with the semolina flour. Okay. And that's why I'm doing it. And then what you do is there's a slot here, you pour it. Always smell your stocks because sometimes they can go bad before you get to them. If you keep a lot of them in the refrigerator like me. I am unsure of that one, so I will throw that one out. Let me go get another one. I don't pour a cup of stock into something. I want to get the nutritional value of everything. I'm not looking for winks of it. Because when you make your stocks, they are full of flavor. They really are. Tell me, are you? So whenever you use all-purpose flour, you have to realize you're going to have to put at least a tablespoon of oil in it. And this makes 1 pound. We used to have an egg man that used to come by, and we used to set these. He used to come through the back door, and if these weren't damaged, we didn't have a problem. We didn't have to pay for them. But if they got damaged, we had to pay for them, and we recycle them. Today they don't. They just say throw them in the trash. We have lost so much, and we're just causing this earth to get filthy. People expect her to clean up our mess. My children expect their mothers to clean up their mess. Well, let me keep on doing this now. Let's talk about some nutrition. Women, when you have children, if you don't keep a high mineral and calcium magnesium count, these are all minerals, you'll notice that when you get older, your teeth start getting loose, and that's because your bones, your jawbone, is shrinking. So that's why you end up losing your teeth. If you end up with abscesses and stuff in your teeth, around your teeth, and doctors talking about, dentists talking about pulling your teeth, this is vitamin C and your vitamin A. So when you have children or as you get older, even if you drink, drinking and drugs will pull that the minerals out of your bone, and as you get older, you will notice that your teeth get loose, and you end up with the abscess and all, and finding money, get tired of having it, you say just pull my teeth, and then you end up with dentures, and then the dentures don't fit, and then you have other problems that go along with it. But if you care for your health throughout your life, so when I was having my children, boy, did I double up on my minerals and my calcium. I doubled up on a lot of my vitamins and minerals and proteins and all, because I knew that they were going to take from me, and I couldn't possibly get enough in. So I started making food very, very nutritious, to make sure, and I have continued that. The only thing I didn't know was if you take medications, how it blocks all of that. Now that's the one thing I did not know about, and it cost me a great price, which was my husband's death. I thought the vitamins and stuff would work with the medication. I found out medication blocks it, literally blocks it. Now the researchers who do the research, and this is how I don't know how it is now, but it used to be that researchers were doctors who had a medical profession, and they got tired of losing their patients, and they gave them the medicine, and they noticed that they just didn't seem to get better. They just on a road of decline, and they wanted to help us have better health so we could have and enjoy our latter years, and be productive with it instead of being the way we are today. And they don't teach doctors this information. But the researchers who study nutrition and stuff and how vitamins affected the body were actually previous physicians who wanted to help. And they just found out dishing out medication wasn't doing it. So they went into a direction and decided, no, I'm going to research and see what's really going on here. And they found out a lot. A lot of the medicines that you think are new today, when I was young, they sat on the shelves. They were known as to being too dangerous to give to the human beings because there were so many counteractive. They caused a lot of problems. And what happened is as time goes on, they start pulling this medicine off and say, oh, we got this new medicine. They don't have a new medicine. They were sitting on the shelves because in the 50s, they considered, in the 60s, they considered these medications too dangerous to give to the human being. So when you think about it, there's a real issue here. Why are they dishing out so much medication? It doesn't make sense. Too many people are getting sick. People didn't get this sick before. The only thing they really had a problem with was heart attacks. That was their big thing, is heart attacks. Now we have plagues, we have cancer, we have this. High blood pressure is all over the roof. People don't know high blood pressure. They say it's salt. It's caffeine. Don't sit there and think that, oh, I just cut out the salt. I mean, my husband was upset when they said cut out the salt, but they didn't tell me to cut out the caffeine. The only reason I know about caffeine is I have a problem with caffeine. My body can't handle caffeine. Anytime I take caffeine, my blood pressure shoots over 200. I mean, it's just like whack. So my best thing is not to have coffee or tea. You know, just simple as that. And I don't eat a lot of chocolates. I only have, let's see, I'll eat brownies. I'll have cocoa once in a while, German chocolate cake once in a while, but that's the limit of my chocolates because I've never really liked chocolate that much. Except these Roman chocolate cookies, they're really good. Okay, so I learned that that's my problem. So instead of giving you blood pressure, they should give you something else. Now I learned, I didn't know where I could get it, but the chicory root is like coffee, but it's not, it doesn't have caffeine. You know what it has? Potassium in it. And you know what potassium does? It quiets the heart and it quiets the blood vessels. So if you have high blood pressure and everything's working really hard, you drink this and it calms you down. Now the only thing is if you drink like 20 cups of coffee a day or a lot of coffee, you might find yourself catching a rash because too much potassium will give it to you. It's just like if you take too much niacinamide, your lips will become like a white paste on them. And these are just things that you know. But smokers need niacin, which is a B vitamin, niacinamide. So when you have the nicotine, it's really niacinamide, and the brain needs it to wake up, so that's why people smoke. If you take niacinamide in the tablet with other Bs, and you get a nice high dosage of it, you'll notice your craving for smoking cuts back, and you don't want to smoke anymore. Matter of fact, it happened to my girlfriend. And she said, "Say, what's this white stuff?" I said, "Oh, you've got plenty of niacinamide. Don't worry about it anymore." And she had no desire to smoke. Like, they don't know that, what is it? I think, is it pantothenic acid? There's another B vitamin that if you're deficient in it, causes a lot of schizoid and everything else with mental issues. So that's another one. But these vitamins you don't find in the enriched flours and everything that you have, that you buy in the store, like all purpose. They say, oh, it's enriched. They only give you like 4 vitamins. Like, you want a natural antibiotic, folic acid. Doctors ran to the government and said, well, we can't get medicine into people because the folic acid is a natural antibiotic. A natural antibiotic. Would you believe that? In a B vitamin. So what did they do? They set out, the government said, well, we're going to change the food to where there's less folic acid in it. So now they can get medicine into your body. Well, we had the natural one right there. So the only way I could counteract this is I keep on making the foods more nutritious, and I refuse. I don't even have aspirins in the house. Like I said, I only have Band-Aids. If my doctor wants to give me medicine, he's got a heck of a way to go. Because I am not going to go through what my husband went through. I will never do that. I remember the doctor saying it was one little tab, and within years he had 3 capfuls, a mound of medication, boxes of medication, and he was getting worse. And medicine's supposed to make you get better. That's not getting better. And here I was making food more nutritious. And it was just, and then I found out when it was too late that actually blocked all the vitamins and nutrition I was putting into his system. Till finally he couldn't eat. His stomach was a mess. His digestion was a mess. Kidneys, everything went wrong. His teeth started cracking. And I said, what's going on? And I knew I was giving him everything he needed, and I was giving him in high dosages. But it's because of the medication. And I look at my life and I say, I have the choice in old age, and I mean, everybody has this choice. Either I keep on going. I know a doctor cannot save my life, but he can slowly poison me to death. I don't mind if I have a headache if I need it, but I don't have headaches. I don't have headaches anymore. So I said, they cannot save my life. When it's time to go home, and I use going home, dying, when you get to that point, it's time that God calls, he will win. No doctor can save your life. That's how I look at life. Maybe it's different than yours and everything else. I know my husband took the medication to stay around. The doctors this is a great argument to take the medication for your loved ones. But all what I see is when I go to the doctor, pharmacy people sitting there coming in with their bag. And I said, not one of those things you're giving them are healthy. Coumadin is rat poisoning. If you don't know what it is, I'm telling you, it is rat poisoning. So I'm telling you some information. You probably say, I really don't need to hear this. Okay? But if you want to eat your cholesterol up, you take a B complex 100 with about 3-4 tablespoons of granular lecithin 3-4 times a day. Believe you me, in 6 months it'll eat all your cholesterol up. I mean, it'll clean your pipes. I mean, they clean it. But do the doctors tell you to do that? And then set it where every day you know you have to have a couple of tablespoons of lecithin with a B vitamin every day after you get it down to normal. You know, you just take that to make sure. Oh no, do they tell you that? No, no they don't. They don't tell you go get some vitamin C with bioflavonoids if you have a cold to help fight the cold, right? Because bioflavonoids keep the vitamin C. See, when you take just ascorbic acid, when you take it, it goes through the blood and it comes right out the kidneys with the infection of the cold and all. But when you take vitamin C with bioflavonoids, they're a little more expensive. What they do is when you take it, it runs around the blood, it goes to the kidneys clean it out and throw the bioflavonoids and vitamin C back around the body to do it again, and they keep on doing it. So the vitamin C ascorbic acid just gets urinated out right away, so it doesn't really fight. But the bioflavonoids with that vitamin C stay, and so as you take it through the day and the days, it's building up, just like antibiotics, and it helps you to feel better. I don't give you each vitamin individually because I know it's difficult for you to think of all of them. I'm thinking about doing it. Just remember, if I do tell you all the side effects of not having these and what it does, if I read them out to you, you have to remember that that's one, but you must take all of these at once. This is why I tried to show you making food, making it more nutritious to make sure you get them all. In that way, you're not so lost saying, oh, but if you need an extra, you'll be able to take an extra one. But you can sit there and say, yeah, you'll see the difference. Like vitamin C gives you great personality. I mean, you're happy. 500 milligrams doesn't cut it. Sometimes 3,000 milligrams. Some people need a lot of vitamin C. Other people need less. But it helps with a person's disability. It really does. People don't know that vitamin C helps the personality of a person as well. So there's a lot involved. I just don't know how to get it all to you, but I can show you how to make your food more nutritious, and I will try to give you more information as I can get it together for you, because it's a lot to take in at times. But remember one thing, if the cells are dead, no amount of nutrition and no amount of medication is going to repair that damage, because they're dead. If they're hurt or weak, we can strengthen them up, and when the next time the cells go to renew themselves, they'll be stronger and stronger and stronger. And this happens in a 7-year cycle. It takes 7 years to replace every cell in your body. So if you eat well during 7 years, you're going to be healthier than you were the 7 years prior to it. And you keep on doing that, and your health keeps building up. So the body is capable, very capable of healing itself if you give it what it needs. But if you abuse it, mistreat it, and not care for it, it'll come and bite you on your backside. Of course, we don't say it that way. We usually say ASS, it'll bite you on, But in case young people are listening to this, just say backside. All right, come on. We have to wait for it. Now, the only reason I don't put salt in this is because I already added the salt to this. I don't need any more salt. And my sons aren't even aware of how much I cut back on the salt, because I mix my salt with kelp. And if I don't, they'll taste the difference. Because remember, kelp has more iodine and less sodium. And the salt you buy in the store has more sodium and less iodine. Now people are buying a lot of salt without iodine in it. So that means in a couple of generations, if they don't correct this, there's going to be bulging eyes in the grandchildren or the great-grandchildren, then they're going to have iodine deficiency again. So this will take longer because it's more. I hope that you do learn something about nutrition and how to make your food rich for your children, where the children aren't so cranky, everybody's feeling better, and you don't have the aches and pains as you hit your 30s and 40s. All of a sudden you I got headaches. I have to start taking aspirin. I have to start doing this and that. May you hold that off by having your health. But remember, it's never too late. As long as cells are working, you can build them up. It takes a while, but the body is capable as long as you give it what it needs to repair. And buy in food. It's pre-packaged, like biscuits, and you crack them open, you pour heavy cream, sugar, and cinnamon, and say, look at the sweet rolls I've made. It's not going to cut it. They don't care. Those companies care this much about your health. The only one who cares about your health is you. If you care. If you don't care, nobody cares. No, my girlfriend took a medication that made her sick, and she said, Sandy, I need your help to do this. So I was reading to her what the books said. You know, I said, this is what you've got to do. I didn't tell her what to do. I read the causes and the effects, and that she has to do something about it. I can't do this. Each of us has to take that responsibility of their health into their own hands. If you have allergies against food, that's somewhere in your digestive system does not have the enzymes to break that food down so it gets into your blood system without being broken down, and then you break up rashes and hives and everything, and it just tears your insides up until your body can fight to get it out of the blood, because it's not supposed to be in the blood unless it's broken down properly, so the cells can get to it. So they treat it like an infection or an enemy that's in the body, and you're saying, but my body needs this. Yeah, well, it's not broken down. This is why the digestive system, I'm talking to you about a lot of general things while this is going on. This is why it's very important you keep your digestive system up and running, because it starts there. If that system from your mouth to the backside is functioning, you can get everything you need in it. I have eaten foods that I dislike, and I have a rule on me. I'll eat anything, but it better not run across my plate. If it runs across my plate, I'm not going to eat it. Okay, there isn't enough here to whistle Dixie. Yeah, what the heck. Okay, I want this a royal boil. I know a lot of people call it rolling boil, but I call it a royal boil, and then because you can't get any higher than that. Now, when you make homemade pasta, you have to realize it cooks a lot faster than the one you get in the store. Now, when I take this out and it's done cooking, when it comes floating up, it's done. I'm going to sit there and put olive oil in it and toss it. Any kind of oil will really do. I use my All Blend. All Blend has mostly olive oil in it, but it has other things in it. And I will be putting some in and tossing it. And then I let that pasta cool. It's good. So you're just talking a few minutes of cooking homemade pasta. And remember, the beauty of making your own pasta is there's so many different flavors because there's so many different grains, and I have a lot of grains in there. Now, I haven't made one that doesn't have starch in it yet. So I don't know if I can do that. I'm going to try that and see how it comes out. It might not come out at all. It'll be a whole waste and a flop. But we'll try it and see how it comes out. I had the weirdest conversation with my older brother. He had hip replacement. He's got severe arthritis. And he says, and I was talking to him, well, you drank, and you didn't care. And he said, I ate everything that was in front of me, and this mama has it, and I have it, and it's hereditary. And I said, well, that's interesting. That's hereditary. Since we have the same mother and I don't have arthritis. And then I told him what the doctor did to give him his hip replacement. And he said, my doctor didn't tell me that. You're lying. So, okay. He didn't like what I said. So I'm sure he talked to his doctor. Or he will talk to his doctor and say, oh, B. In my sink. I do add oil to this. One thing pasta does do is stick when it's homemade, so that's why you add the oil on it. Make sure you give it a good coat. I'm going to be tossing it as it cools, but here it is. Homemade pasta. Listen, take care. Enjoy the holidays. I mean, a lot of people out shopping. Take care. Bye-bye.